streaming in a hot minute, so please let me know how this how's this moving, if it's clean or not. If not, obviously please let me know. Let me know. But, so far this is going to be okay. Twitch is going well. Just going well. What about the YouTube? What about the YouTube? Let's see how this goes. I'm really kind of hoping that both are gonna work out well. Okay. Blue digit. All right. Just a second so I can make sure both are running. What? It says I'm live. Okay, no, it's live. So it's and it's live. Yeah, no, it's live. Yeah. So it's working both on the YouTube and the yeah, no, it's working. Yeah, it's absolutely working. Nice. There's a few things that are definitely off still. Don't know why. Okay. So I've already seen a few problems here, but I wouldn't worry too much just yet. Yeah. I'm looking at the YouTube. Okay. I'm looking at the YouTube. It's on. I'm looking at the Twitch. Is it still on? Yeah, we're multi-streaming this bitch. We are multi-streaming this bitch. We're on. We're good. We take the W today, boys. We take the W today. Okay. Hi, the white digit. You. What the fuck? What's up? How's it going, guys? Let me see. Tactical, the goat. All right. So, good news and bad news. I shouldn't say bad news. Honestly, it's just all good news. By the way, hi to Ultimate on the fucking YouTube chat. So here's the deal. There should, I could be wrong, but it should be both chats that show up to the left. I could be wrong, but that's what it should be. Now, just to clarify this as well, I'm going to be mainly looking at the Twitch chat. Okay, so that's what's going to take precedence for me. Okay. However, so if you guys want me to see your stuff, look to the Twitch chat, okay? But again, however, if you guys want, just to also look at the YouTube if that feels more comfortable for you. Like, now you have an option. You have a huge option now to, like, decide what you want to do. And I wish I didn't have to sleep, bro. I want you're fine. The nice thing about this is actually, these will be re-uploaded later. So, very funny story. I watched a video in Danny's World, then immediately enrolled in a competition. There's a competition? Wait, tell me. Wait. What kind of competition is it? Wait. Is it closed now? What kind of competition, bro? You know how funny that'd be to fucking do a Danny's World competition? What's up, Buzzfang? How's it going? Bro, that'd be like the coldest shit ever. The fuck? Bro, I would love that. I would love that. It's another stream hosting. It's fucking fuck. Oh, it's another stream. Oh, whatever. So here's the thing. I'm probably going to cut a little bit of this, but like I don't think the stream's going to do too crazy, right? It's just going to be okay. The main deal from this stream, okay? The main thing that's going to happen is it's going to be good for us to start getting actual VODs and stuff sent out. First off, if you want to watch either one for Twitch or the YouTube, you can do that now, okay? It's also going to be good so that if we want to do some more variety stuff, the videos aren't just going to go into Twitch VOD oblivion. Like, it's actually going to be stuff that's going to stay. So, I'm actually pretty happy about this. I'm very excited to see how this, like, turns out. It's going to be weird. It's going to be definitely different. It's going to be different. So, yeah. I don't know, it's going to be a very interesting night. That's all I got to say. Let me get my water before we even start. Okay. So. No, you're right. Hey, good. Hey, that's all I can say. It's good for you, man. Good luck on that shit. All right. Now, with all that out of the way, we are going to be playing my favorite game of all time. It's anything crazy. I'm probably going to change my mind at some point, but like for some reason, whenever I think of my favorite game, it's always this game that pops up. I don't know why. But let's talk about it. So, From this point forward, we're going to be talking about the game. I'm going to be focusing on the game. If I see your chat obviously come up, I'll address it. But for the most part, I'm going to try my best to again just focus on the game and what it's got to offer. So I hope you guys understand that, and I hope you guys are ready to jump into this shit. So, back. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, hello guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Beginner's Guide. This game came out around 2015, and it's from the same maker that made the Stanley Parable. So it's actually like from I would say a pretty notable developer. It's a really good game. Like, this is my favorite game of all time. I don't know why. It kind of I feel like it just resonates like very close to me. You guys will see what I'm talking about. But like every single time that I play this, like I've made a point of trying my best to do it annually because of how special it is to me. And I think for a lot of people. There's a lot of games that try and send a message and don't always do the best of it. But like this game to me in so many ways proves just like what storytelling can be in terms of a game, as well as just like what it takes to send a message sometimes. Like you could do this in a movie or in a book, but like I don't think it would hit the same as what this game has to offer. And I think you're going to see what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys understand, and let's jump into this. I'm excited for this. I really am. So, let's start. Fuck it. He has on the baby, the Ash baby, where it's like crazy shit, bro. Anyways,
hi there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote the Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
You know, so there's not a lot of downtime with this. Man, this game's just, beautiful.
Warning. Whisper machine
Do you have a link? It should be on Steam.
It's called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Escape from Whisper. Oh, I'm out of fucking Dude, I'm out of fucking bullets, bro. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, I'm fucked, bro. Oh, I'm fucked. Womp womp.
Security code breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
I'm fucked, man.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Oh, he opened up the... My bad.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
I remember, this is a fucking labyrinth, bro.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
That was my favorite part of the game! Where is that?
Or if you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
That's funny. I didn't expect him to fucking say anything about that. That's funny. I'm not sure I want to. I feel like there's like a secret thing if I do that. Should I? I don't want to waste any time here. But okay. Next time, if you guys are interested, we'll do that. I never knew you get a different dialogue option if you try that though.
Okay,
that's kind of funny.
That's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the Whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
If you kill yourself, you could save us.
For all of our lives. Could you do it? Could you give yourself?
Could you kill yourself to save us? Thank you.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead. The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
I feel so strongly about that just because I already played this game. But just like, dude, this so many moments that I just... Oh, I remember this one. I can only go backwards.
In this game, you can only walk backwards.
That's just a really interesting concept. Man, dude, I played this game already as a creative. I'm gonna hold my tongue. I'm gonna hold my tongue until the end. But jeez, man, this game is beautiful. Genuinely.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
When she stops and looks, it becomes clear. But the future's always behind her. How will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
I was actually debating making this a thumbnail. You are now entering Skibidi Toilet Warrior 3! No.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
What that Shagma? So goofy, bro.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Nonsense in nearly every direction.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do? Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
I'm not going to, but I bet you there's a Steam achievement for if you just walk up there and you wait the entire fucking time without pressing enter. I'm going to, but I bet you. I fucking bet you. Stand on X staring at bear for 3 hours. The game recollect items except the game automatically. A game of only motivational quotes. Played one.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
You are a gate. Series of lavish manuals come with a game.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Where's that fish? I've always found that last one very interesting. I'm sure we'll talk about it more at the end, but just like the fact that it takes so long for you to even get to that one point where you can actually see all the ideas. I wonder why. It definitely makes you sit there and think. And especially, okay, we modified it. What was the point of you just slowly going up there to maybe see something? Like, what was the point?
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Oh, I gotta press it again. I got it. There we go. Yeah,
Don't
big
forget
brain.
that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
This is okay. Big brain, big brain. Totally not just because I played this game before.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay. Wow. Holy shit.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same. is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Hey, what's up, Ancient? Play. Dude, I want to play that game. Listen. If I ever get money again, that's a good game. That's a very good game. I actually do want to try it, my friend. We're now exiting. You're now exiting. Just give me toilet.
This, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
March 2009. The Great and Lovely Descent. This is my thumbnail. This is my thumbnail, baby. Hey.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Dude, that gave me... Whoa. That I felt like I was actually... I don't know about it. Like, something about that made me actually feel like I was falling. Like... I kind of felt like my stomach tense up for some reason. I know it's a game, bro, but like you know that feeling where like you do something and then it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's just me, bro. I know, it's just me, bro. It felt weird though. It felt so weird. There we go. I'm so glad I'm playing this game again. Jeez.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that. This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
You gotta wonder why. I think a lot of it has to do with definition too. Like maybe he's being cheeky because like technically, are they playable? Yeah. You know, you can play them, but like just because you can play something
again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Just because you can play something, does that really mean that it's really inherently to other people a game.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
One thing about this game, even though like it is obviously a walking sim, like the rooms are just beautiful and the transitions, everything are just seamless as hell. You there? Did you come up from above?
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue
What was up there?
that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities.
Yes, there was a world
Use
stamp.
the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. What's this? How's it going, my friend? Nico, thank you for the follow, my friend. Alright, yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Yes, there were these floating colored bricks. Or rock. Okay, we're gonna do, probably the prison. Yeah. That's the world above? You've been there. Now, this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? I prefer not to tell you. We've only just met. What? But you don't understand. We are trapped here. That puzzle is our only escape. We need to get through it. I think you want to get through it, but trust me, you don't. Let me describe it for you. Let me tell you all about what is over there. What's that first one mean? I kind of want. Okay, I've already done. They're not anything interesting. I want to try the first one, see what it says. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It is the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there is nothing I want more. Weird. Huh? Hello. How did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? No, I've been here this entire time. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. What happens if I solve it? Who are you? Yeah, who are you? Just go hang out there in that blackness for a bit. You may not like it at first, but it'll grow on you eventually. What the fuck?
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level. It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Beautiful. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All the notes you see are left by other players. Lies! What's this one? Nice room. Not. Dude, this is fucking something from the internet. What the fuck?
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce
How do you beat this game?
This game is not connected to the internet.
No point, it is.
All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played.
This one?
This was shortly after
holy
I met him.
Holy
at
shit!
Weekend Game Jam in Sacramento. where I
Oh,
grew
holy
up.
shit! Yeah, I didn't
I
even
saw
look at
him
that.
working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was
Hello.
like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I
Define fun.
actually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. And if you read all of them. Either way,
Yes.
to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game
This shit
that
is
wasn't meant to
cavern.
be played.
Boring. I can assure you.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of
What
connect
else is
with
there?
him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just
Can I jump down?
play someone's game and see the voices
Oh, I
in their
can't,
head
son of a bitch.
and get to know them better. And
No, I have to
do
go this
less
way.
of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. It felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
So what's this game about? This is I'm replaying my favorite game of all time. Yeah. A free T-shirt. Make games include store. Can I open? Thanks. Open sesame. Is this the door? Is this the one with the? Oh no, my bad. There's more. What the fuck? It's really crowded in here. Jeez. It doesn't really matter. Like stopping all these play, it adds so much to me. As dumb as that sounds, it's like like when there's just like filler in games. Like I find so much specialty in just reading all these. And the funny thing too is like if you do read most of them, like wait, I need someone to talk to. There's just so much meaning to this game for me because it's like if you guys have played it, like I'm not going to spoil it obviously through this playthrough yet until the end, but it's like I find it very interesting how like obviously some of these things it's just like some of these mean nothing, and yet some of them have so much heart and soul in the messages, and I think it says a lot as well about like how people are, about what actually matters, about value and scale, about everything like that, and how we interpret those things, even when other people can have just such completely different mindsets or perspectives at that moment. And the thing is too, okay, so I want to talk about this really quick. The thing that's very interesting about this, I'm going to stop
At
reading
the end
notes,
of
I
this
think.
level,
Oh.
we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty speaking? Speak. 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 May. June. 2019. Or 2009, my bad. Porn stars
this
die
one is
too.
tough.
That's a
It's gonna
badass
kinda
name.
just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Oh? Okay. One second. Sorry. Stream kind of just went off on my laptop. I apologize. What in the world?
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has
Oh
all of
shit!
this
I'm in a fucking prison!
And I don't know why.
I don't remember
He
this.
decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Oh? What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? A refrigerator! Yeah, okay, you don't get a refrigerator. What about the wall? What's goofy? 10 stones lined up, 10 stoves lined up. Three. I tried. I thought I could maybe get something, but tables that were invented. Yeah. That's funny.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake. So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. Click here. Good. Go over to the photo frame and click to turn slightly. Now, turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Floor lamp. Now, go to the left side of the sofa. Move it over a little bit. Finally, touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to start to be taken back to your prison. What?
And of course,
hell?
now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
This game just means so much to me. Is there an edge? Okay, I gotta know. Oh, there's not. Okay, I want to keep going for a bit so that if there's an edge in the map. But no, I guess not. Hello. Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you after you escaped the prison. You're me? ... So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in a furniture I was in
a conversation.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Really? How long has it been since you got out? A few minutes. Anything can seem infinite when you're drenched in it. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I'm the first person to call back. Well, then tell me how I can get out. Maybe I can find you. What do I have to do? To get out, all I have to do is be sincere? Good answer. What? Yeah, exactly, right? Like, what? That will free me? How does that work? Listen, I can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. It will make sense. I guess I'll just tell him it'll make sense. Sure about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
August 2009.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
This is the one part of this game that I always just remember vividly. For some reason, it always
to
made
me,
me
this
very...
environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
You guys know what it feels like when you just play a game and you realize you're just in a room playing a game, but like you just still enjoy that one place. It feels just there. You can kind of take it in. That's what this kind of reminds me of for some reason. Well, my goodness. I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself. And right miserable that would have been. Everybody knows lonesome hands make lousy homes. Don't worry
You'll
about
notice
me.
that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games,
yeah, let's do this.
including
Yep.
this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point
That's
on.
a story little one.
From here on out, he begins putting much
you worry
more
now.
effort into the
We'll be
visual
through this
polish
mess
of
in
his
no
work.
time.
And this
Promise you.
particular game took 2
Little
months
bit
to
slower.
create as a result.
Why don't we finish up here? In the meantime, you can clear the table. Okay, much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Is this the bedroom? Yeah. While you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a good bit? All the little details matter. Do you enjoy being a... Yeah, let's do that. How'd you end up with this job? A friend dragged me along at a time when I was particularly desperate for cash. Turns out I've never been so good doing something for money my whole life. Never did like cleaning my own home. I might have gotten some demons I ain't ready to face yet. Oh, speaking of demons, someone's put this couch all a mess. Would you come out and straighten these pillows? Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over the couch. Maybe mop that. This? Yeah. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Do you absolutely have to? That's crazy. Make it especially cheesy. I should not have said that, but whatever. Even they're like, yo. No. No. You was stupid. Sorry. Never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Last I checked, the tub needs cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best you can? Why can't this motherfucker do any help? You don't need to be perfect. We're all just human. Are there still books scattered on the floor in the bedroom? If so, would you put them back up on the shelf? Oh, they're over here. My bad. I'm blind. I'm blind. Clean faster. Perfect. Now, how about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience
where
you just need to let it sit and digest inside.
Let me tell you something.
And eventually cohere into something
you have absolutely got to own it. Otherwise, it owns you. So why don't we be with the task at hand and leave the future chores to future you? Present you wants to smooth out the rug in the bedroom. Believe it or not, trust me on this. They're fucking what a bitch.
Actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Earlier when I said I had a cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. I get it. It's a weird thing to say to someone you met. There's a bit of truth in it now. Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you please? Okay. So it's literally like on repeat, bro. How is this getting dirty when bro's not even fucking even moving around?
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question.
But,
do you
of course,
enjoy this?
It can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave.
What about the question?
The top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Something felt off about that. I never knows. Is there something else over here I can maybe check out? Maybe not. It's a shame.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Items you love at members only prices. Oh. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself? Compared to whom? You feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is, not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? This is easy. It is so easy. It is so
About
easy.
halfway through the game,
Being
the
perfect
perspective
is
shifts.
effortless. What the fuck? Kids should not follow their dreams.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Oh. Can I go up these stairs? No, I can't. You know, I really do be like that with a lot of these people. It's like, you know, I'm really big on, like, obviously, like, motivation and shit, but it's like, you know, you don't have to, like, say everything's gonna be okay. Like, you sometimes, like, the truth is better.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days. This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Oh. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you'll be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on. Say something to her. Hello. Hello. That's it. That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. You're all my hopes and dreams. No, 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 no. That's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need to better feel the scene, or the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent people nearby. I talked to her again. Wait, how bouncy are they? Wait, can I like go back for like a bing, ding, ding? Whatever. I want to say like bing, ding, ding, but I can't. I'll bet you've learned to lean into pain. What are some sacrifices you had to make? You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important it was for me? I'll never get an opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Okay, yes, now this is working. This is what I like. This is what it was like.
What's going to happen next in Coda's life? The solution to social anxiety, to
That's perfect.
fears
Wonderful.
of having to perform
This
and
is really
having to
wonderful.
chase success. The answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away, which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago.
You're doing
where
great.
it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Mobius Trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Okay, I'm opening my eyes now. What can we do? Help, I'm blind, I can't see anything? Okay, whatever. I mean, I tried for a second. Please someone talk to me. What the fuck is that? Thor! What the fuck? Am I... Bro doesn't give a shit. He's like, am I gonna be killed by a giant door? I guess so.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
There is? My work is always fun. No, that isn't truthful. I'm gonna die? Oh god, I gotta... I see what's going on here. Okay, okay. I remember now, just because I remember like I actually got like a little like annoyed when that happened because I kept doing the same thing for some reason the first time I did it. But I can't keep making these. Yes, that's it. That's the truth.
Like I said, I was getting
draining
concerned.
me.
First off, he's never been this explicit in his
Keep
work
going.
about
Keep
exactly
talking.
what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then
gonna
even
be easy.
weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him.
You're
Not
doing
like he's
it.
having
It's
trouble
working.
iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore.
I'm
And in
alone.
person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect
You're going-
anything that you
we're gonna
say
be
in order
okay.
to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
What is this? Where did this island come from? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I've talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. I have nothing left to give to my work. Oh no. What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that protected me and start it up again. Wait, you're looking for a machine. I think I know where it is. It isn't far. What? You have to take me to it.
If the last game featured Coda talking
It's covered by a
explicitly
difficult
about
puzzle.
his creative frustrations,
You can help me solve the puzzle.
this one
We'll
turns
find
it
the
up to
machine.
11.
Deal?
Now, put yourself in my shoes playing.
Deal.
Here's
What
a
the other one
friend
say? I didn't even
whose
see what the other
work
one
is
said.
exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing
Oh,
himself
show
into
it
the
to you.
grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
What do you think?
Because from my
recognize this.
perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
They close the door. Nice. Ha! That was so
You
simple.
can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Making games is easy. It feels wonderful. Why do the walls just crumble? Don't worry about it. Just keep talking. Just keep saying that creation is easy. It's easy. Never stops being easy. Yes, that's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked
It's such
really
a simple
unhealthy
solution.
to me. I was watching him do this
Perfect.
to himself, and I hated it.
It feels
I hated
fantastic.
seeing him so trapped. It's like
I'm gonna vomit.
video games are not
Patience.
worth
Trust
this
me.
amount of suffering.
I promise this will work. Please,
This is someone I really cared about.
continue.
And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become
Yes.
angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst
Keep going.
thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
May 2011. The machine. Ma'am, glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that should be noted about this machine. It calls itself Coda.
And of course,
Stopped.
it's the machine.
Stop feeding us. These people out there. You can imagine the pain you put them through. So, here's what needs to happen. You need to go out there and apologize to them. You've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. I've seen the thing you fear. Alright then. I will apologize to the people on your behalf. My friends, I have a troubling revelation. The machine will not apologize to us. We have to find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us pay it retribution. Follow me. We will destroy the machine. Oh, God.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head. and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his game. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realized that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for it? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work? So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy, so beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look. And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's
good? Yeah, I'm good.
trying to
I'm good.
distance
Just
itself from the world.
this game, it
It's
has a
very
lot.
cold
That's all.
game.
Some of those things I've replayed again.
This room
and
actually has a maze in it.
Oh.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and
Jeez,
noise.
it's actually
So
terrible.
The experience
Yeah.
is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
I would not mind that horror. Maybe we'll have to wait for a time. Okay.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Yeah, no, this game, every single time I play this, like, I get the same feelings. It's beautiful. Trust me, once we get to the end of this, I'm gonna be yapping for a while. I can already feel it, bro. Jeez.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you. I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself. And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
This is one of my favorite parts of the game. And this is a tipping point. Just fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing that you're wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
When you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay. More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
This part of the game, honestly, always kind of feels so creepy.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
I have a lot of thoughts in my head, and it's almost like, do you know that feeling when you have so many thoughts and just so much you have to feel about something, but just it's like, it's almost just so much that you can't even say anything. It's almost like a giant blockade goes from your throat to the front of your mouth, and you just can't let it all come out. That's how I feel with this game right at that moment. Right, honestly, just in general, like, but at that moment especially, it's like, I mean, this is really the first time in the entire game that we're alone. And it hits. It hits really hard. There's a lot I want to say, but I think we're going to just walk a little bit more and then, yeah. One thing I will say is this game, the way it hits, the way that each dialogue option happens, the way I really do think it's one of those games that even now, like, you just gotta play it for yourself to like feel it all the same way that I am. You can't just watch it and feel the same or read it. It's truly something I think pretty special. Like that, just being able to move and stop, and just, it's small, but those footsteps, like, it changes the grounding of the moment, the severity of it for me. It's a big deal. Have you guys ever seen the end of Berserk or the end of Devilman Crybaby? Because a lot of times you'll watch something that has like an ending that you don't. At least you sit in there for hours thinking about it. Well. And so, that was the game. That was the beginner's guide.
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me
This project would not have been possible without following individuals. There you go. This is one of the best games of all time in my opinion, and I do think it is probably. I wish there's a lot more I could say. It's one of those things where I might want to say a little bit more after the song, because yeah, but like, you know, this game. Additional things. Okay. It changed for me what defines a game, and what the medium of art in it of itself is. Okay, it changed so much of that. This game is beautiful to me though. It is. Yeah. Not everyone's going to get this game. I guess here's the yap session, right? So I've played this game multiple times. This game just hits me really hard. It hits me right in the heartstrings really hard because as Jacksepticeye actually said in his playthrough, it is a game meant for creative people. If you are whatsoever a creative person, this is going to hit you pretty hard because of the fact that the whole game is more or less addressing what art is, what your work values to. It doesn't matter if it has value. What if it doesn't have value? Doesn't matter if people love it or not. Doesn't matter if it has meaning or not. That's what I think the main thing to it is. But you know, and even though I could rant forever about how intellectual the game is and blah blah blah, I am going to rant. There are multiple people that have made beautiful essays on this that have spoken about the game. Multiple people that have even just gone about the title of the game, what the title actually even means in and of itself. I've come to my own conclusion. That's what I'm going to be speaking about. I think there's a lot of better answers out there, though. The reason why this is my favorite game of all time, though, is in a time period where most games were just, oh, I'm going to get a scare out of it, or, oh, there's going to be some crazy new tech or new mechanics. This game brings us back down to base zero, and instead of worrying about all that, it's just it tells a story. And I'm really glad that it does the way it does, because it's like, you know, so many times, like, you know, games are seen as one medium, movies are seen as one medium, you know, books are seen as one medium, and for me, it's like, all this stuff, it's just about what's going to convey the best story. What's going to convey your message the best. And this game clearly showed that, you know, you can tell a story, and it can be shown strong and true in that medium. And I a lot of times, you know, I've seen games where it's like, okay, well, I might want to see this in a movie format. I'm sure there's some games you can think of the top of your head where like, yeah, that'd be just fine in a movie, not as a game. But this one just, it feels exact. It feels special. It feels and especially for a walking sim, because that's what it is. It's basically just a walking sim. I make a point to watch this every single year. Or my bad, play this every single year because so between David and Coda, I believe it's David. David and Coda. David obviously is someone that wants to find meaning in things. There has to be meaning. It has to be a flow. He tries to find the deeper aspects of things, and sometimes, obviously, in art is just is. Things just are. I think this game is really interesting because, in a sense, it's a mixture. I think there was meaning. I think there was absolutely meaning in things. I think there were tons and tons of things in this game that were, like, true and not. For example, do I think that there were moments where the game actually did have crazy meaning that David guessed onto? Yeah. Do I think there's moments where David was just throwing his basketball and hoping to land a hoop? Yeah, and he missed miserably. But the thing is, it was still in the sake of love and caring. And you can't always push upon your values and your belief systems onto people. I mean, you'll see this all the time with like anything in media. I mean, even like let's say us watching this video, there might be someone that's watching some other content creator and be like, "Yep, I'm gonna believe this about them. I'm gonna push my values of this is who they are," and you can't always know that. My big thing about this game though is it bad to try? I don't think so. It's actually pretty symbolic. The lamppost, in my eyes, is quite literally just that symbolism of putting your own meaning into something that doesn't really have it. But I don't think that's inherently a bad thing always. I mean, we as a viewer saw that. Now, also the problem is it's not always completely Coda's, and that's why it was a problem. But just like looking at the media by itself, knowing that, I think there was beauty in that, and it added on to the whole story that we had. There's a lot of levels of this game that like just I think need to be spoken about, and it's really hard to kind of like go over. And I'm probably gonna, after I'm done uploading this video or this, like I guess this VOD, the stream, I'm gonna sit there and be like, "Ah, man, I forgot some stuff." But you know, one moment in particular is the machine. Making sure, you know, people care about you, people love you. You gotta do things right. And that's how a lot of people feel. That's how I feel. And this game's almost a decade old, and it's just it's all about. I mean, yeah, the burnout of trying to constantly be that special person. You're just gonna go through that. You're never gonna be perfect. You're never gonna make things perfect. And yet, you know, you're gonna constantly have like people cheering your ear about like, "Oh, this is what it should be. This is what it should be." If you look at a lot of manga writers, that's like that's probably the best example I can give. If you look at manga writers, the best one, like, currently, as of the time of this video, I can think of is probably JJK. It's like, oh, yeah, here's what we think the meaning should be. Here's what we think the meaning should be. And sure, even though the collective might think, yep, this is what it should be, and I have my own opinions about the end of the manga, it's still their story. It's still theirs. And you gotta question what your actions are doing in pursuit of changing or manipulating or enforcing your own feelings onto someone else's art. That's a very dangerous thing. But here's the thing too. And here's what I've taken from this game that's a big deal. No matter what, the art as itself stands for itself. How you interpret it will always be special to you. If you take something on different than someone else, that's totally okay. Does that mean that's what the main message was? Maybe not. But I still think like these visceral feelings that you feel in these shows and media, they're yours, and it's not for anyone else to tell you that it's not. The reason why I think it's called the Beginner's Guide is because it kind of spits in the face of this game. Coda never wanted there to be a beginner's guide to his stuff. He just wanted you to open it up and experience it. And that's kind of it with a lot of these experiences. And this is like kind of the main point for me. David is a great person. Clearly he didn't mean any harm or anything. He seems like a very nice person. And he is. In my eyes, he is a good man. But when it comes to experiencing things and caring about things and taking things in, it's about how you do that. It's not about how Joe Schmo tells you how you should. It's not about how... I mean, even David, it's about how you feel about that. And you got to make that decision for yourself. And whether you agree with the populace or not, it's your feelings that are valuable. And you got to go forward with that. And that's why I think it's so impactful that at the very end, you just go forward and essentially finish the game walking by yourself. This game is beautiful to me. I think it strikes up a very strong, important message. Especially about kind of going down your own path and enjoying things for what they are through your own lens and not... Oh, well, this person said this in this YouTube video, so I better take their opinion. Or someone said this in this article, so I better take their opinion. Just sitting down without anything else to kind of support it and just enjoying it or taking it in for what it is. And I think that's a good thing that people don't do anymore. It's like, you gotta trust your own reputable opinions on things. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think, overall, you should do a little bit of both. I'm a big balance guy. But in terms of what this message is, that's what I've taken from it. And that's why I love this game. It says so much. It goes over so much. It goes over, obviously, mental health issues, motivation, social norms and dynamics. I mean, it's a strong game, but at the end of the day, I love it. I love it. I love it for how simple it is and what it's got to tell to, again, to specifically the creative people. Because to the creative people, they're going to see this, and I mean, you're going to be on two sides. One, you're going to be like, oh yeah, well, I mean, poor David, or you're going to look at the other person and be like, oh, well, you know what, womp womp. One thing that was always, like, the one thing I looked at there that hurt always is when Coda, like, you know what, let's just stop talking. It's a hard thing. I've seen both sides where it's like, you know what, you want to speak to someone so bad that it kills you inside, that it literally just rips you apart, and you can't, because they don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. And I've also seen the side of things where it's like, you know what, someone is just such a pest down your throat that it's like, okay, I just can't do this. You gotta go. I've seen both sides of the tray, man, and neither is pretty. Not always, but very seldomly have I really seen someone really like happy, overjoyed with that kind of thing. And if I do, then they're not always the best person to me. That moment was really hard for me because it's like, you know, in the long scheme of things, and I think that was kind of like the turning point for me, is it's like you got to tell all these people that, yeah, you are loved. We're loved, and for whatever you're going through, whatever your mindset is on these things, it does matter. Your thoughts matter. Your opinions matter. Your generosity, empathy matters. Like, you can't look at David and think that he's a bad person for trying his best to be there for a friend. But at the same time, the problem is, like, you know, David obviously misunderstood what was going on. Coda was never open. And he was drowning in his own sorrow. Perhaps there's a lot more I'm just looking at here that is, as well. Kind of the funny thing is, like, and it's really meta, because, like, I'm inferring things, and I'm sure tons and tons and tons of other people did the same thing, where they're kind of putting their own meaning onto the game. But again, that's okay. And the whole point is you're not always going to be spot on with everything. But that's okay, and you gotta try regardless, because that emotional value that you've taken, even though it might not be the truth, emotionally, it is your truth. And that's a big, big deal. So, this is my favorite game of all time. Really. I'm going to try to keep playing every year because it helps keep me open-minded about things. It helps keep me loving people. It helps keep being... I love that the main thing that you see in this game, the main big thing, is that lamppost. Because even when they're... It's symbolic to me of invoking your own end goal, invoking your own faith in something, even when by itself there is none. And I think you can do that with anything in life, including with this game. Like, this game speaks so much on the value of interjecting your own feelings and thoughts into things, and what the weight of that is. A lot of people probably won't agree with me on this, and a lot of people probably have their own opinions. And if you do, please let me know down in the comments, or when this is uploaded on the YouTube. But as for everyone else, thank you so much for watching this. I will do a little bit of a end remark here. I'm going to keep playing this every year, and if you haven't, I would urge you to to find this game. It is, I mean, at least I know for certain, at least on Steam, but it is just such a special game. It is such a special game, and if you are missing out on this, you are missing out on such a beautiful story, and I mean that. It's just amazing to me, and I really hope that you guys at least sit down and get the opportunity to really kind of experience what this has given me. Okay. So I guess with that out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. This has been a wonderful experience replaying this for the year, And it's always it's such a shame because, like, you know, so many people don't even know about this game. So many people, like, they'll be like, oh, it's a beginner's guide, and you know, they'll play the game, or they'll watch a YouTuber and, like, they'll think that's enough. But it's like, you know, really, I do think this game is something that maybe it's just, again, me, like, the way you interpret it, but it owns what it is, and I've not really found all that many games that always do that. This game's story is timeless for me, and it forever will be. So, love yourselves, guys, and obviously find out what your truth is, and try your best to recognize what is the truth, and what is just your own emotional truth within that moment, and then move forward. So, love you guys. This was great, great game. I am obviously going to be ending this stream here. So, yeah, I might do another stream later. I don't know. That might also be uploaded. But what I will say is this was really fun. I had a great time with this. If you guys would like to see something else in the future, let me know. Really good game, though. Really good. This will be uploaded on the YouTube. So, obviously, if you're on stream, say hi. Say hi. I don't know how many people are going to be watching this later, but say hi. Say hello. Say hello, Skibby Toilet yeah. And to anyone that's on the YouTube, thank you. I don't think there's really many people on the YouTube watching this, but to the few that are, thank you. Okay. So, yeah, it's just great. This is great. So, what should I say? If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm going to try my best to keep uploading VODs. This is going to be hopefully a more consistent thing. Subscribe to this one. I am also live on Twitch if you want to be there. And, what's I got? Discord, got the other Blue Digit channel. Yeah. So, I'm going to end this, guys. Smile, keep it up, and let's fight for a future so bright, so much rise. My name is Bliss, signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video.